Hi everyone, and welcome to my guide to crafting in Final Fantasy XIV. To be clear, this is not a guide on leveling crafters. Rather, the purpose of this video is to explain what the actions do and how they go together, so that you can do expert recipes or any other recipes without needing to wait for someone else to make you a safe macro. This guide will also come with a controller setup that focuses on expert crafting, though it is not the main focus of the video. Note that I'll be going over all the actions, but not in level order. They'll be grouped up by concept. However, that being said, if you are still leveling, do not worry, every concept has a low-level ability for you to refer to. So first, let's explain the basics of crafting. In order to craft an item, you will need to open up your crafting log. Make sure you have enough materials and crystals needed to attempt the recipe, and then start your craft by clicking Synthesize. Once you've created an item once, you can often quick synthesize it. This will do the craft fairly quickly, and you can do multiple of them, but you will not be guaranteed it will end up high quality, leaving it entirely up to luck. Do note that not all recipes have quick synthesis available, and it will say so in the characteristics. Recipes in the level-based section typically do support it, and the ones in the special section often do not, unless it's to make a material. If you would like to try out the craft, but you're afraid to lose materials, you can use Trial Synthesis. This will let you practice recipes and you will not lose any materials or crystals, but you also won't have any items crafted. This is just for practice. From there, you need to use your actions to fill out your progress bar. Once it's full, the item is created. How much progress an action will do will depend on its efficiency and your craftsmanship. You can see how much you will get by looking at the calculations window and going to the progress section. Basic synthesis is, well, your most basic synthesis action. It has no CP cost, which is essentially your crafting mana. Then we have, much later, careful synthesis, and it's a powered up basic synthesis going from 120% to 150% efficiency, and it comes with a CP cost of 7. You will also see something called durability. Basic synthesis and careful synthesis will each cost 10 durability. Unfortunately, this is not reflected in the tooltip. Every action that affects progress costs 10 durability by default. The tooltip will only mention durability if it deviates from that default. If an action causes the durability to go to 0 or less, and the progress bar does not fill up in that same step, the craft will fail. In my controller setup, you might notice that it's on the D-pad, and you might be thinking, well, since this is so basic, shouldn't it belong on the action buttons? But I will explain why when we get to the quality section. So now let's talk about the quality bar. There are actions that will fill this up as well. Filling up the quality bar has two purposes, depending on the type of craft it is. The first purpose is to increase the chance that the resulting item will be high quality. More quality, more percentage, with that max being 100%. Some items cannot be made as high quality, such as furniture, so the quality bar is useless there as far as the craft itself is concerned. However, if you are leveling, do note that you will get more experience from raising that quality bar, even on items that cannot become high quality. The second purpose is for items called collectibles, which have a little symbol next to them. In this case, the quality becomes a collectability rating. These crafts are handed in to an NPC, whether it's at the cities for Rowena's collectibles, or the Firmament for Ishgard collectibles, or the custom delivery NPCs. They will tell you what collectability you are aiming for to get specific rewards. Reaching max collectability is typically not necessary, but it is an easy way to know you've definitely reached the tier you wanted. While the purpose of the quality bar changes based on the type of craft, the means by which you will fill it do not change, so regardless of whether you're going for a high quality percentage or a collectability rating, filling the quality bar works the same way. So, let's go over some of the basic actions for quality. Basic Touch increases quality at a CP cost. Standard Touch is a powered up basic touch, which does a higher quality efficiency at nearly double the CP cost of Basic Touch. On its own, it's a bit lackluster. However, it is actually a combo action with Basic Touch to drop the CP cost down to 18, which matches Basic Touch. So if you use it as a combo action, it's a powered up Basic Touch at no extra cost. The amount of quality you earn is based on the efficiency of the action, as well as your control. Remember how every action that increases progress costs durability, which is 10 by default? Well, the same is true for every action that increases quality. Once again, the default is 10 durability, so both basic and standard touch cost 10 durability. So, why do I have the basic progress actions on the D-pad and the basic quality actions on the face buttons? Well, do you remember how I said that a craft finishes when the progress bar is full? If you're aiming to raise your quality bar, you will need to do so before you finish the craft. Because of this, it's pretty common to either raise your progress just enough to be one action away from finishing, and then using only quality actions until the time comes to finish, or to only focus on quality at first and then do all of your progress at the end. Either way, if you need to raise that quality bar, you don't want to accidentally raise that progress bar and possibly finish a craft early. Because of this, progress actions will be placed where they are less likely to be accidentally pressed, such as the D-pad. Next up, let's talk about some fairly simple buffs. Veneration increases the efficiency of synthesis actions for the next 4 steps. That means actions that increase progress. Innovation increases the efficiency of touch actions for the next 4 steps. Those are the actions that increase quality. Great Strides increases the efficiency of your next touch action for the next 3 steps. Do you know this means it only works for one touch action and then cancels after that? Since these are buffs and do not directly increase quality or progress, they do not cost any durability. However, they will still count as steps. For example, if you use Innovation and you then use Great Strides, you will notice your Innovation buff still consumed a step when that Great Strides was used. So, if actions that increase progress and quality cost 10 durability, or at least typically they do, and you have to finish before or when it reaches 0, does that mean that a craft with 60 durability only allows you 6 actions? Well, not quite. There are actions that will allow you to help manage your durability. Master's Mend restores 30 durability. Manipulation comes much later, but it restores 5 durability after you take a step for the next 8 step. Waste Not halves your durability cost of actions for the next 4 steps. Waste Not 2 also halves your durability cost of actions, but for the next 8 steps. There are some things to note about these actions that might not be obvious. First, an item cannot go beyond its max durability. So if you use Master's Mend when you don't need 30 durability, the rest is wasted. Second, for Manipulation, do note that the durability is restored after you use a step. So if your action causes you to reach 0, Manipulation will not save you because it would do so after that. Third note, Manipulation can stack with Waste Not or Waste Not 2. So let's say you have both of them active and you use Basic Touch. Well, that would normally cost 10, but that becomes 5 because it's halved by Waste Not. So now it only costs 5 durability. Then after that, Manipulation gives you back 5 durability. This essentially allows you to use that action at no durability cost. One more note. Waste Not and Waste Not 2 cannot be stacked. So if you use them, they will simply replace each other. There is another action that's pretty useful for managing durability, and that's Prudent Touch. It will cost half of the durability, or in other words, it will use up 5 durability. It does cost a bit more CP than Basic Touch, and it does not have a combo action. Additionally, it cannot be used if Waste Not or Waste Not 2 are up. You might have noticed that so far I've been ignoring the part of the tooltips that says success rate. Well, let's talk about it. There are some actions that will have a chance at failure, wasting a step and possibly durability. That risk comes with a great reward, as these actions have their own benefit. However, people generally do try to make rotations that do not make use of these, if at all possible, as no one wants mats to be wasted due to bad RNG. As such, you will find that these actions are typically reserved for two purposes. The first being expert recipes, which are the special collectibles in Nishgard, and often do rely on making use of these percentage-based actions. The second is people who are leveling and maybe they haven't updated their gear, or maybe it's a very awkward stage in the leveling process where they're just struggling to reach the progress or quality needed without having to rely on these powerful but risky percentage-based actions. So let's go over them. First, there is Hasty Touch, which allows you to try to increase your quality at absolutely no CP cost for a 60% chance. Some people use Hasty Touch quite a lot, so that's why mine went on the primary bar. Then there's Rapid Synth, where you can try to increase your progress drastically with an efficiency of 500%, but at only a 50% chance. If you do use Rapid Synth, you typically only do so once, twice, maybe 3 times per craft, so it's not used quite as frequently. Because of that, it'll go on the double. When Rapid Synth is used, it is often paired with Veneration for a nice big boost of progress. There is technically one more action with a percentage under 100%, but we'll talk about it later. This is the end of this particular video, but not of the guide itself. Up next, we will be talking about Inner Quiet, Conditions, Final Appraisal, Observe, and a bit more about durability.